9 in this first race, so qualification is a little more gentle than it was in the brutal 800s, where it was just the winner. The two fastest here are the Britons. Belshaw, the European under-18 champion from Banska Bystrica. She'll be on the outside, and there is Belshaw, down to 4:09 this year from 4:12. Looks a little bit nervous, different feeling arriving as the favourite. That's the tag she wears as a result of having a good season. I think she's got her 800 down to 2:02 or 2:01 as well. Ebestina Bouvet, Claudia Gutierrez, the Spaniard, national champion. Good running this year with that 4:14. Pauline Schädler of Austria. And then to Elena Strevens, National University silver over the 800 metres. 18 years of age, set that PB of 4:13 on the 7th of June. I like the Union Jacks on the cheeks as well, very patriotic. Vanadzina, national champion for Latvia. Then to Emma Linder, Bamberg. Tias Vico, 2 times a national champion, she's run 2:19, and Giulia Colarietti, bronze medalist in the Italian national champs over the 8 and the 1500. But Belshaw, the favourite, starts on the outside, riding high at 4:09 in this division, the quickest in the field across the 2 heats or semi-finals, whatever you want to call them. Top 4 coming back for the final. So the first of 2 heats of the women's 1500 metres gets underway, and it's Zivko of Slovenia trying to hold the inside, but denied by Strevens of Great Britain, who has Gutierrez on her shoulder. Well matched, those two. Gutierrez has run a 4:14 this season, and Strevens has run a 4:13. And the favourite, quite happy, running just on the outside of lane 1, with Lindner of Germany just tracking her every move. But Strevens has moved out to the very fringes of lane 1, and this is very, very steady at the moment, and that means it'll play into the hands of the tacticians, you would suspect.
Yes, good pace, going through unofficially in 52.5, the first 300 metres. Give you a lap time very shortly. Jones, though, at the front, doing a very good job of controlling the pace and making it fairly honest. All the women still very much in contention, but they're not dawdling. We've seen heats in the past where sometimes they've been tripping over themselves and perhaps waiting for the last 700 or 800 metres. Everyone's still well bunched together, but Gutierrez coming around the outside. Stevens, nice job at the front there. We've got a third Briton coming up in the next heat, Isabel Jones, but at the moment the 2 Britons very well placed in those 4 automatic qualifying places.
Very steady at the moment. You get the feeling that Gutierrez is quite happy with this pace being pushed along by Strevens. She has run that 4:14, so it's not in her interest necessarily for this to be too slow and to play into the hands of the fast finishers. If Gutierrez and Strevens wind this up, they'll lose most of those tracking them at the moment. So it was 70 seconds for the first lap. Interesting to see whether they've slowed down or stayed steady. Quite a big move on the outside, although it looked like it was going to be for Lindner. Yeah, they've slowed a fraction, so they've gone from a 70 to a 72. And Vanadzina of Latvia trying to get herself in pole position to strike as they begin to think about the wind-up.
Yes, and it is Stevens still, though, controlling at the front. Gutierrez slipping around on the outside in excellent position. Bouvet, well, perhaps one of the unheralded runners in this race. Still a big bunch. These 8 women still very much in contention. We're all looking at Belshaw now. Belshaw's a bit bunched at the moment, but she's got plenty of time to extract herself. Stevens, as she's done, looking just over her right shoulder, looking at where Gutierrez is. They're coming up to the bell. Keep an eye on the time at the bell, because there are going to be non-automatic qualifiers. It could be very important as far as the second heat is concerned. 3:16 unofficially.
Inside the last lap then in this first of two heats for the women's 1500 metres. Only the first four guaranteed to return for a blockbuster final. Strevens, the long-term leader, has Gutierrez on her shoulder. There's nothing to separate them in terms of their lifetime bests, both set this season. Belshaw, the fastest across both heats on paper, now moves to the front. Watch for Schedler of Austria getting up into contention as the Slovenian Zviko starts to go backwards. Strevens is having a look over her shoulder to make certain she finishes in the top four. Belshaw looks really confident here. She's hugging the inside line. Gutierrez and Strevens in second and third, and an excellent run by Schedler. And desperately trying to come back into it is Zviko, the Slovenian. So, Belshaw, Strevens, Gutierrez, and it will be Schedler of Austria to take the fourth automatic spot. Zviko will have to wait and see. The last lap, by the way, 65 seconds. Excellent running by the British pair. They were the two fastest in the field on paper, but Gutierrez posed a threat. Doesn't matter, they've all made it.
Well, no surprises as far as the first three were concerned. Belshaw confirming her role as event favourite, but a great run from Pauline Schedler of Austria. She's a 4:22 performer, one of the slowest women in the field, and she's just come through in the first heat of a championship and set a personal best at 4:21.25. Zviko, good chances of probably going through as a fastest non-automatic qualifier. Tough for the women who finish further back to go through as well. Well, Stevens, with taking that early pace, gave her all the opportunities to go through and avoid any upsets. Challenged Belshaw down the home straight. Belshaw just looked very, very comfortable indeed on the inside. Gutierrez, I think probably that analysis applies to her as well. Looks as though she was straining just a little bit on the run-in. Just looking up, wondering where Schedler is. But 1, 2, 3 very much going to form. Schedler upsets the form, but just slightly getting through with that fourth automatic qualifying spot.
Excellent running by the top three, and a good performance from Schedler to deny Zviko an automatic berth. The Slovenian in fifth, will have to wait and see, but Belshaw looked very, very comfortable there in second place. She really did.
So this is heat 2 of the women's 1500 metres. Isabel Jones, the third Briton in this heat, looking to follow on the footsteps of Eleanor Stevens and Lila Belshaw. Mara Rolli, 4:13 performer. She's one of the faster women in this heat, the Spaniard. Natalia Grusic of Serbia, 4:20 performer. Ilana Russo, the Greek. We're looking here at Isabel Jones, 4:16. Fastest woman in this race, though, is shoulder to shoulder with her, Carmen Cernjul, 4:10.64. Second on this season's list after Lila Belshaw. Elena Rabuli, Italian, 4:23, so perhaps one of the outsiders to go through. Cernjul, though, had a really good year. Cernjul improved quite dramatically over the course of this season. She's coming here, perhaps trying to get in amongst the Britons as far as the 1500 metre medals are concerned. So let's keep an eye on the times. It's 2:26 at 800 metres, that's the benchmark. Rolli getting to the front first of all. Rolli, silver medalist behind her compatriot Gutierrez in the Spanish Under-20 Championships. Tucked in on the inside, it's the Italian Rabuli. she's going to have to probably work very hard, try and take the sting out of some of the faster finishers if she's got a chance to get through. Sernjul just looking very confident, right at the back at the moment. Well, I say right at the back, right in the middle of the pack. Jones just behind her, slightly more diminutive figure of the Briton. 300 metres, 54.5 unofficially. Just slightly slower than the first race.
Yes, they went round in 70. They had a 70-second first lap and then a 72 on the second, so it was 2:22 at 800 metres. And this at the moment is slower. And it's a decent opportunity because the non-automatic spots, that's 73.6, the non-automatic spots range from 4:21 to 4:27. And as Rabuli leads, the rest will know this is a great chance, but only if it's fast enough. And Sernjul, who got a bronze in the under-18s last year in Banska Bystrica in very different conditions, granted, up with the leaders, but a little bit boxed in at the moment. Rolly's on the outside, National Championship silver medalist. Sernjul looks extremely comfortable, but watch out as well for Galvin, National Champion indoors and outdoors. Yes, she's only run a 4:18, but she's looking good, and she's following Jones here, who's begun to get herself in pole position, perhaps sensing this is going to build because it's not as quick as the first heat.
No, nothing like as quick. Coming through, it's the Spaniard, Rolly, now getting to the 4. Rolly is one of the better runners in this field with a 4:13. She did that in Barcelona almost a month ago to the day. And Rolly now starting to work very hard on the outside in lane 2. Still up there. I think that's a bit of a surprise to see the Italian Rabuli on the inside. She's having a good run at the moment. But they're all massed behind her. This is going to be a really entertaining race, a real burn-up over the last lap.
Sernjul needs to be careful here. Yes, she looks comfortable, but she's boxed in by Galvin, and she has Jones just on her shoulder as well. So the Swedish woman, who has run a 4:10, who is by far and away the quickest in this field this season on paper, needs to make a tactical decision and a big move here, because this is not quick and we may well only get the 4 from this race. Sernjul, the favourite, needs to find a way out. She's totally boxed on the inside with a lap to go.
And it's Rolly now starting to increase the pace as they go through and hear the bell. And Rabuli is having an absolutely fantastic race. 4:23 performer coming in here, and she's giving herself a fighting chance of getting into the final. Galvin now, the Irish woman, the national under-20 champion, Galvin up there. Sernjul now has managed to extricate herself from difficulties. Jones coming through as well, following the gap left by Sernjul. So it's the Swede followed by the Britons, Sernjul and Jones, and there's a titanic battle behind them. It's starting to unfold now as they're coming into the home straight. Sernjul now controlling matters from the front. Jones looking really good. Rabuli having the race of her life. She's doing so well as Rolly drift backwards out of contention. Coming through very strongly on the inside, it's Russo the Greek coming past Rabole. No doubt at all about the winner. It's going to be Carmen Sernjul. Isabel Jones gets second. I think it's the Greek, Russo, who gets third. Rabuli hangs on for an automatic qualifying spot. A great run from the Italian. Might be just a personal best perhaps for the Italian, if not very close to it. Anyway, 4:21.16. Let's see how the timings unfold. No doubts at all about the first two. Sernjul and Jones comfortably through. Russo, 4:21.86 for the Greek. Didn't need to show until the final stages of the race. Just about 2 seconds outside of a personal best. And yes, indeed, it is a personal best by just over a second for Rabuli, who, yes, we can say, had the race of her life.
Really impressive there from Sernjul. She didn't panic, and around about 2:50 to go, there she is looking up at the big screen to make sure she's comfortable. With 2:50 to go, she found the gap she needed. Yoyawi of the Netherlands will also make it through as one of the non-automatic qualifiers with 4:22.15. They actually sped up quite a lot on the last lap. Sernjel ran really well there, so too did Isabel Jones. Rolly in sixth, the Spaniard, has also qualified with a 4:24.6. That was a fascinating race, and Sernjel was good value for the win.
Absolutely, and I think she's going to be one of the challengers to Belshaw and Stevens. Good run from everybody there. Stevens qualifying as the fastest, 4:20.70. Belshaw, Gutierrez all 1, 2, 3 from the first heat, and then Sernjel. Going to be a fascinating race. And we're probably going to see a few more personal bests, I would say. Good running from the likes of Schedler and Rabuli to get personal bests in a heat of a championship.
Right, from drama in the shorter middle distance race to drama in the longer, the women's 1500. A really intriguing race, this one. You could make the case for Lila Belshaw. She won the European Under-18 title last year. They all earned the right to be here. Pauline Schädler, PB here to qualify for 21. Isabel Jones, third in the national championships, 4:16. Gutierrez, that PB of 4:14 in Barcelona, national champion indoors and out, the Spaniard. Rosu of Greece, she's won the 800 title for the last 3 successive years. Yayawi did the middle distance domestic double last year. Zviko of Slovenia, 4:19. And then arguably the favourite, Lila Belshaw, gold last year in Banska Bystrica. She's a Commonwealth Youth bronze medalist from a couple of years ago, and that PB of 4:09 has come down from 4:12 this year. Emma Lindner, 2:08 for the 800 this year. 4:19, that back on the 31st of May. Carmen Sernjel, she's in the 3000 final tomorrow. She got a bronze over the 800 last year. I think she's in cracking form. Melania Rebuli, PB here to qualify. Maria Rolli, 5th best in Europe this year with 4:13. Just 100th quicker than Eleanor Strivens. National Championship silver and a National University silver over 800. Strivens and Rolli very, very closely matched. Maybe it's Carmen Sernjel, the athlete we've always associated with 800-meter running and being an international footballer for Sweden. Maybe she's the one to try and deny Belshaw the title here in Tampere. A really interesting final about to burst into life here. Strivens with some face-painted Union Jacks on her cheeks. She's taken the inside line with Gutierrez wide on the outside, and Sernjel, this very canny racer from Sweden, who ran 4:10 in Oslo on the 12th of June, right on the shoulder of Strivens, and Belshaw tucked in on the curb. The Swede has been very impressive this week, Phil, bearing in mind we've closely associated her with excellence over 2 laps. Very assured in qualifying for the 3000 final, and she won her heat of the 1500 and looked really good. I think she's come here in a battle for gold.
Without a doubt, and Sernjel, as we know, has got really good speed over 800 metres. Interesting to see Emma Lindner in there. Well, there's already 1 medal in the last hour or so gone to the Lindner family. That was Julta Lindner and her twin sisters in the battle for medals in this 1500 metres. It's Rolli at the moment leading the way. Pretty decent pace. 68 seconds through the first 400 metres.
Sernjel just tracking the move of the leaders all the way through. It was Strivens. She's now back in 4th place. Lila Belshaw, the European leader, she's in 3rd, also paying close attention. London Mini Marathon winner a couple of years ago. She's arguably never been in better shape. But Rolli, the Spaniard, the 5th best in Europe this year with that 4:13.40 PB. She's quite comfortable at the front, and Strivens got running just towards the outside of lane 1, and in fact it looks like it's the other Briton, Jones, who's boxed in on the inside in about 5th at the moment. 2 laps to go. They're all gearing up to be in pole position to strike.
Has to be said, though, Belshaw in very good shape at the moment. The only woman this year who's gone under 4:10, and Belshaw looking very, very dangerous there. I think Belshaw's back in third place. Yes, you can see her there. Still plenty of time to get herself in good position, though. Jones can extricate herself from the curb very comfortably. And I was impressed as well with Stevens in that same heat as Belshaw as well, following a compatriot home. So the Britons, well, we've just seen a really good performance from the Britons in the 800 metres, subject to disqualifications. It could be some very high placings here.
And Strivens there accidentally caught the heel of Belshaw, who had to put her hand in the base of the back of Rolly, the Spaniard leading. So it's Spain with Rolly, Sweden with Sernjul, and Strivens on the outside. Belshaw is boxed in here as they come towards the bell. They're all queuing up for a big burn-up on the last lap. They take the bell in the final of the women's 1500 metres. All the big names are there. This is going to come down to a moment of tactical sharpness. The Britons are queuing up. Belshaw on paper the favourite. They're all watching and waiting. When will the big move come? So, Jones on the inside. Sernjul, the 800 metre specialist, still hasn't made a big bid here. Belshaw on Sernjul's shoulder. The Swede is trying to accelerate, but you sense Belshaw is poised to strike here. Shoulder to shoulder as they come round the home straight. The two Britons are beginning to fade. It could be bronze for Spain here. Belshaw from Sernjul. Can the Swede close? She's trying everything. Tension in the shoulders. But last year's champion in Banska Bystrica is going to win here in Tampere. Silver for Sernjul. And a brilliant bronze there for Isabel Jones. So two Britons on the podium. Sernjul upgrades her 800 bronze last year to silver this year. She tried everything to run the sting out of the finish of Belshaw. But what a wonderful season and what a wonderful win for Lila Belshaw. 2 seasons and 2 European gold medals.
Oh yes, and she's just improved immeasurably over the last 12 months as well. She's come through from 4:12 last year, which took her to gold in Banska Bystrica, to 4:09, and that's taken her also running 4:14 here to gold in Tampere. Really is a very, very talented athlete. Leads the European list, and that was a very assured race. One of the things that she does have over Sernjul is that she's got experience of winning on the international stage. It was a European under-18 gold, and she controlled that race in Banska Bystrica in emphatic fashion. Well, Sernjul there certainly posed a great danger, but in the end, Lila Belshaw, amazingly, had the better of Sernjul, who's got the 800 metre speed. And I think Isabel Jones, I'm not sure she realised for a very long time that she'd actually got that bronze medal. But she did come home clear ahead of Claudia Guterres. Eleanor Strevens coming home 5th to make it 3 Britons in the top 5. So, good performances from the Britons in the middle distance races here.
Well, it was a cracking race, wasn't it? Sernjul did her level best. And she's going to have to try and contend with Ines Fitzgerald tomorrow in the 3000 final. That's just around about 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Fitzgerald going for the double. Belshaw wins from Sernjul, and a fabulous bronze for Jones, it really was. What a season for the British youngster. Sernjul made her work very, very hard for that. But she thoroughly deserves her moment in the early evening finish sunshine. Cracking race that, wasn't it?
Oh, terrific race, absolutely superb. Now we're still waiting for confirmation of what happens with Rabjons in the 800 metres, but that win, because of course following Rabjons home was Murphin and Waterworth, takes Great Britain up to the top of the medal table.
Hey, I'm Ines Fitzgerald, and you need to go and sign up to European Athletics YouTube.